Good evening, everybody. Boy, it's been a while since I've made one of these. Well, I actually got some interesting things to mention this time. Well, one big important thing. If you're looking behind me, you probably notice a couple of different games that I'm going to talk about in this video. So this might go a little longer, but this is kind of like a summary or a recap what's been going on. So I'm going to get the first thing out of the way. I've been very fortunate to have had help. And in the future, we'll finally be doing. Whoops, almost dropped it. We're going to be finally doing some simulator games, racing, truck simulator games, those sort of things. So I do remember playing, say, American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2 in the past. More American Truck Simulator than Euro Truck Simulator 2, but I figured maybe it is worth revisiting Euro Truck Simulator 2 because I was born in Europe, and doing that game with an actual steering wheel might make the experience better. And so far, I did some testing off screen for the most part, and it works. I seem to be enjoying it. Getting this thing hooked up for the first time was a bit of a chore because I don't know much about, sim games in general. If my memory serves me correctly, when I was much younger, there was possibly a wheel like thing like this that we had in the past, long time ago, but technology changed over time, so I don't really have any memory of it. But nevertheless, we'll be doing some games here in the future. I think we all had moments where you grab something cheap or expensive and you almost drop it. Oh boy, I don't want to drop this thing. But I got this thing hooked up in front of the desk here, which is still enough for me to do certain other games without taking it off, because I had to put the cables around the desk and stuff. And I'm gonna put the steering wheel on the desk right here, and it just snaps into place like that. Basically, this is the Moza R3 wheel that I got in person, and it does take considerable force, a little bit of force to push it in when you pull the thing in the middle, but you also got to pull it out just to remove the wheel. And so far, I have to sit in this position, which I had to move the microphone on a little bit. So it's a good thing I did move the green screen further back, because I have to position myself somewhere along the lines of this just to be comfortable. So you can't see the steering wheel. This is the top of the steering wheel, so you can't see it. I think the only way that can be seen is if I grab the side camera right here, and then I will show you the steering wheel action there. I don't know if that's gonna work. If I add it on screen just to make it more, just to show you what I'm doing, I have to look into that because I haven't had the chance. But yes, so far, like I was saying earlier, I got Euro Truck Simulator 2, American Truck Simulator. I did play some Assetto Corsa in the past, but I'm not really sure if this is worth revisiting. I'm not too sure yet. That could change very quickly. I also heard there were newer Assetto Corsa games that might be worth playing. Maybe Dirt Rally 2 is still worth playing. I haven't had a chance to go over them yet, but that's something to do in the future. Other than simulator games that we'll possibly be doing, the grinding for Final Fantasy XIV Online still continues. I'm about 1,900 hours into it. I got most of my in-game jobs, tank healers, and DPSs to level 95 now. All of them are level 95 right now. So I got 5 more levels to go. I'd rather have those done ahead of time, so it's not going to be a problem. I like to just like to get them done before experiencing the story. I'm so close to catching up to everybody in the game with that MMO right now. Probably the only MMO MMORPG I'm going to be playing for the next long while, unless something else comes along. I've also did complete Stellar Blade as well, which is right here. It took me, as you can see, it took me about 50 hours or so. I had to use the guide to complete certain side quests just to save time, but thankfully I didn't spoil myself. And finally completing the game, Stellar Blade storytelling and the game overall is a little better than Cyberpunk 2077. That's just my honest opinion. The storytelling in Stellar Blade wasn't a strong point at all. I wish there was more story, just like in Cyberpunk. But at least I'm glad that the story that I was given in Stellar Blade was a small improvement over Cyberpunk. I have been doing other casual games on the side, but my Model Rivals is the only casual competitive game I still care about for the time being, after putting 500 hours into it. I don't know if you can see it, but this game has its problems, but I still argue that it's still more fun than Overwatch 2. Especially when you do get a decent match going finally. You can't really control players, especially if they want to help you or not, but I digress. There's also BeamNG Drive. I did try some steering wheel action in that game, but you need to tinker around a little bit more with that one. There's also Void Crew. I might do a playthrough of System Shock at some point. I think this System Shock game is going to take a lot more to complete. I'm thinking of doing Split Fiction if it's easy to find people to complete that, just like It Takes Two did. But I also got Starship Troopers Extermination, The Other Side, and Pro Soccer Online. Just to name a couple of the games that I have in my memory right now. The only other game that I will try to do more of in the future might be Age of Empires 4. I haven't touched that game in a very long time, simply because there's just been too many other games that has gotten in my way, and in real life stuff on top of that. So I can only do so much. It'd be nice if I was able to do this full time with more free time on my hands. But I gotta work with what I have. Also, one thing to note that I haven't mentioned in a while in these videos is I still have a merch store. I used to have it with Stream LMs before, but then I had to redo it again because that got shut down. And I'm using a third-party supplier called Fort Wall. We haven't had any merch being sold in a while, but you're more than welcome to check out the merch that I have there. And just hold on a second. Gotta make sure that I don't open up something that I will regret. I actually have some personal information, but I don't want to show. But nevertheless, I want to quickly show you the merch store for those that are curious. I should have gotten this.
Welcome. Here's some highlights for you.
Oh no. I don't mean to go off topic, but don't you just love it when you go into a website that you are familiar with and it just auto plays the audio or video? Then you have to unmute it every single time. That's what just happened. Anyway, back on topic, and I don't want this video to be running too much longer, but I'm just gonna quickly show you what the merch store looks like on screen. And please let me get this thing please let me get this thing properly on screen for once.
Welcome. Here's some.
And it just did it again. I just muted it. I just muted the channel trailer for Twitch, and it still plays. Okay, I digress. Okay. And finally gonna open the link now for those that are curious. And one more time to scroll down, and here we go. I didn't put it's very straightforward, but here are all the merch. And this is the link that you can see on your top left of the screen. You got your typical merch that you can sell. I'm pretty happy with this logo, by the way. The mouse pad, the mugs, the shirts. I keep it pretty simple. These are all US dollars. But I'm willing to reduce the price for some of these merch if needed. I was told to reduce the price for the hoodie for particular. I don't make any profit on the hoodie at all, but if the fans or anybody that's interested want to get it, I don't mind. Anyway, that's about it really. I think this video has gone on for way too long, but I just wanted to mention all of this because I thought it was important. So, it's almost 10 minutes, this video. Anyway, glad to still be here trying to entertain you all. So, let's keep this show going, shall we?